The sun, a bloody eye in the morning sky, watched over a field already stained crimson. Dew, sparkling like 1,000 fallen tears, clung to trampled grass, soon to be soaked in more blood. The air, thick with the anticipation of death, hummed with the distant cries of men readying for battle. This was no ordinary clash of armies. This was a meeting of legends, a contest of civilizations, where the fate of empires hung in the balance. From the icy fjords of Norway, the Vikings came, their longships having borne them across the churning seas, braving the wrath of the ocean. They were led by Ragnar Lothbrok, a giant of a man with eyes as blue as the northern ice, and a beard as red as the blood he craved. His presence was both inspiring and terrifying. He sought glory, plunder, and a place in the sagas sung by generations to come, a legacy that would echo through time. Across the field stood the Templar Knights, an unyielding wall of steel, their resolve as unbreakable as their armor. Clad in their iconic white surcoats emblazoned with the blood-red cross, they were the holy warriors of Christendom, sworn to protect the innocent and vanquish the infidel, their mission divine and unwavering. Leading them was Sir Godfrey, a knight of unwavering faith, his heart filled with righteousness, his hand firm upon his blade, ready to strike down any who opposed him. The Mongolian horde, a thundering storm from the east, rode on horseback, their numbers seemingly endless. They were the descendants of Genghis Khan, their bows singing a deadly song of conquest. Their leader, Batu Khan, bore the legacy of his grandfather, his eyes burning with ambition to carve out a new empire from these distant lands, a vision of dominance and power. And from the land of the rising sun came the samurai, disciplined and deadly. Their armor, a masterpiece of lacquered plates and intricate designs, glinted in the sun, a testament to their craftsmanship. Each warrior was a master swordsman, their katanas forged in the fires of Mount Fuji, each blade a symbol of their honor and skill. Leading them was Tokugawa Ieyasu, a shogun of cunning and ambition, his eyes fixed on expanding his dominion, his strategies as sharp as his blade. The air exploded in a cacophony of clashing steel, thunderous war drums, and the agonized cries of dying men. The Vikings, their faces contorted in berserker rage, charged with the force of a tidal wave, their axes gleaming under the pale sun. Each swing was a testament to their fury and strength. The Templar Knights, their formation as unyielding as a mountain, met the Viking fury head-on, their shields forming an impenetrable wall. Their discipline and strategy were unmatched. The Mongolian horde, a sea of riders, unleashed a storm of arrows that darkened the sky. Each arrow was a harbinger of death. The samurai, their movements fluid and precise, countered with their own deadly volleys, their arrows finding gaps in the Mongol ranks. The battlefield became a whirlwind of death, where survival was measured in heartbeats. Every moment was a fight for life, a dance with death. The tide of battle ebbed and flowed, each faction taking its turn to push forward, only to be driven back by the ferocity of their opponents. The Templar Knights, their discipline unwavering, held their ground against the Viking onslaught, but their numbers began to dwindle. The Mongols, their horses nimble and swift, harried the flanks of the samurai, their arrows taking a heavy toll. But Ragnar Lothbrok, sensing an opportunity, rallied his Viking warriors. With a roar that shook the very ground, they broke through the Templar lines, creating a gap in the enemy's defenses. The Vikings, smelling victory, pressed their advantage, their axes carving a bloody path through the disheartened ranks of their foes. Their war cries echoed across the battlefield, a terrifying symphony of chaos and destruction. The Templar Knights, their formation broken, fought with desperate courage but were slowly overwhelmed. Each knight knew the stakes, yet they held their ground, their valor shining even in the face of certain defeat. The Mongols, seeing the tide turning, retreated, leaving the samurai to face the full brunt of the Viking fury. Their retreat was swift, a calculated move to preserve their strength for another day. Despite their bravery and skill, the samurai were outnumbered and outmatched. Their swords clashed with Viking axes, but the sheer numbers against them were overwhelming. As the sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the battlefield, the Vikings stood victorious, their enemies either slain or scattered. The air was thick with the scent of blood and the cries of the wounded. The field was a charnel house, littered with the bodies of thousands. The ground was soaked with the blood of warriors from all corners of the world. Ragnar Lothbrok, his armor stained with blood, surveyed the scene, his face a mask of grim satisfaction. He knew this victory would be sung about for generations. The victory had come at a terrible cost, the field a testament to the brutality of war. Each fallen warrior a reminder of the high price of glory. But for the Vikings, This day would forever be remembered as a day of glory, a day when legends were forged in blood and fire. Their names would be etched into the annals of history, celebrated by their descendants for centuries to come.